Hello everybody, I'm Jimmy Fantastic and welcome to my What's New in Season 8 video. As you can see, it's Amazons, that's the main thing, right, the new race. I think it's a good thing for Blood Bowl 3 to get the Amazons in. The reaction's somewhat mixed because they're very powerful, right, so it's really fun to play with them. Not so fun to play against them sometimes. They can be infuriating when you can't knock anybody over. But, it's great for competitiveness to have that, for arena, world championships, stuff like that. They're one of the top teams in tabletop. So yeah, Amazon teams available. Joseph Bugman's available is an inducement. The Amazon Clash community event will be available, which is very exciting. And so let's look at the Blood Pass first. So there you go, there's the Amazons top team. Now this is cool, look at this. This is not just the customization, but there's a display default, so you can actually see what you're changing and what the actual effect is. So that's great, isn't it? But I think that's a cool helmet for the Black Orc Goblins. Really cool. I think so we've got a name thing there. A more bony glove, and these I like these customizations, right? Yeah, dice there, feathery thing there, feathery thing, halfling, and yeah, bosh, you can see the difference. I mean that is, thank God we've got it, because it just makes it so much better, right? Amazon cheerleader zone, some warp stone. That's just a bare shoulder instead of not a bare shoulder. Tracker, interesting ball, isn't it? It reminds me of Indiana Jones a bit, the Amazon ball. Big egghead skull. Slight variation of the daggers, slight variation of the shoulder pad there. Slight variation of the shoulder pad there, a bit more bony. Interesting feather whirlwind. That's actually quite a good thing here. Look, compared to the normal. If you haven't got the big glowy ones, that's a really good thing for your troll slayer there. Different dice, decent, interesting. I don't know how readable they are, but it looks quite cool. I quite like this Amazon thing. That's what I've got for my thing there on the thing. There's lots of things here. Skaven shoulder pad, Renegade Skaven. This is quite a cool one. Look, the default there, and then you've got loads of bones. Pretty good for the blocker. Jungle Warrior, yeah. Amazon sideline stuff. Different helmet. That's a good one for Nurgle. Big eyeball and shoulder and stuff. Really nice. Another variant. Bit more armor. Bit bigger shoulder pad. Bigger shoulder pad there for Chaos Ogre. What's this? I can't remember. Coach Zone. There you go. Huge punch dagger for humans. Yeah, turquoise whirlwind. Yeah, that's quite cool, isn't it? A glove. Yep. A shoulder pad. The tribal chief. Oh, it's tribe chief. If only it was tribal chief, we could all be Roman Reigns. This is a wild customization. Look at that. So you've got the normal Amazon line woman, and then just like wings. That's a huge difference, isn't it? That's great. That's probably the single best customization we've got in the game, I'd say, for how just one customization completely changes the character. Really good. Yeah. Minotaur thing, decent. Amazon flames. This looks nice, don't they? Again, don't know what the readability will be like, but it looks good. A big old helmet there for the line woman, which at 46 is somewhat good, but oh yeah, because this you can use multiple, right? Because it's an epic one. So yeah, you could give all of your line women that. Mr. Throw gets a pretty good body here. Quite different, Mr. Throw. He's got a hair look. So that's a pretty cool customization for the thrower. A different coach. Aha! Here's a bit more functionality. The coach. You can actually see what the emotes are before you buy them or whatever. Like in the shop, you know, like this is the same functionality as the shop. So if you're thinking about buying a coach in the shop, you can go and see what they're going to do. Very cool. And then if you complete the blood pass, you get this legendary helmet for a lineman, well, linewoman technically, and very good for like your dirty player or your guarder or whatever. Bit strange that it's a linewoman, I've got to say, but it does look very cool, right? A ghost snake kind of thing. So yeah, and I'm sure if you have that with the wings on as well, it's going to look pretty amazing. Now, Arena Mode has got an update. It no longer has overtime nor sudden death. Draws are enabled. Reaching 3 draws will end the ongoing run. So you can see here, you could win 6, draw 2, lose 1, and then the 10th game will decide the run. A draw or a loss will kill you, or a win will win you, or you could just go 5-3-0, and then your run will die because you were too conservative taking draws and stuff. So I think this is pretty good, right? I think some people were put off by the time commitment of potential overtime, so I think this definitely makes it more accessible. Whether it makes it harder or easier to make a run, I've got no idea. But I think that's a nice idea. I think some people balked at the time commitment, so the fact that you can do this. A slight problem is like asymmetrical desires. For example, I could have gone 6-1-1 and you could have gone 6-2-1, and then when we play each other, a draw, you have to win, a draw kills you, whereas a draw is okay for me. So there will be like the odd thing like that, but I think that's fine, right? I think not having overtime is probably the correct decision. It was just how do you like, you know, do limit the draws or whatever? Do you count them as half a loss? Do you have a separate category? It was pretty tricky to work out how to do it, but I think this is a pretty cool way of doing it, especially as like the run is capped at 10 games, whatever happens. So yeah, I do like that. The wizard is now banned, which is a great change. I think that was one where I just think, you know, we just didn't think about wizards, and then whoops, it's happened. There is a champions screen here, so you can see everybody who's completed a run, and you can see the individual races as well, which coaches will have done that. Amazon's up there. See, it's done by the testers and stuff. And then the tiering has been updated. Now I'm not really sure why. I guess they want to just, you know, try and keep it fresh. I guess that's the idea, right? But yeah, it's a weird one. Tier 2 are getting 80 more TV than Tier 1, and Tier 3 are getting 90 more TV than Tier 2. So yeah, not really a good season for Dark Elves, Dwarves, Lizardmen, Orcs, Undead or Amazon, because it just seems clearly favoured towards particularly Necromantic. But there you go. Have fun playing your Tier 2 and Tier 3 teams, I'd say. Yeah. And maybe that's a good thing, right? Who knows? Maybe it does need, you know, a higher tiering for those teams. But I do think Wood Elves and Necromantic and Skaven are going to like this a lot. I think they are over tiered with this amount. But we shall see. That just is what it is. Also, we've got the ladder, right? The ladder is, of course, back. And this is, you know, your standard. You know, you get better. There's rewards. You can create your team, make it better. The cap is now set at 2,000 TV, which if you're going to have that, you might as well not have a cap, in my opinion. But there you go. The primary random skills cost is back to half TV. So again, I don't know if they've had any stats or whatever from this, but there you go. So randoms are completely normal now. So again, that will change like advice. If people made guide videos where they said, oh, you can't random, but now you can. So yeah, weird that they keep changing this backwards and forwards. And also sprint ranking is displayed, but Yeah, there we go. Sprint 20 matches. I imagine you'll only, because the sprint ranking is a snapshot after 20 games, I imagine the people will only turn up on this after they've played the full 20, right? Which can be somewhat frustrating because somebody could be right behind you on 19 and you don't know. So it probably the sprint ranking should maybe be 20 or less, and maybe they'll change it to 20 or less now that it's in the game. But last season it was just at 20 games. Of course, yeah, the Amazon Clash mode as well, I think is a really cool addition for, you know, new players and stuff. You get to try out the teams. There are 4 factions. Each faction has a base team, Amazons, and a DLC team. So, you know, if you have access to the Amazon team by default for this event, so people can get to grips with these teams made by the streamers. The red faction is Knorr, the yellow faction is me, the green faction is Andy Davo, and the blue faction is Mr. Page. So I think this is really cool. There's rewards. There's a bunch of rewards for things and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And a few other things, so I can have a look at the other things now. So for the rest of the video, I might as well just talk about the patch notes. This is one that I'm sure people will like. I just had a couple of turns to show you this. There is a dice page after games now. You can see the skulls, the pushes, the pows, the both downs, the d6 rolls. So, you know, you can confirm that everything's, you know, evenly distributed. Now, of course, the chance of everything being completely as you'd expect is very low. So it's one of those where it's going to be a bit weird, you know, and it doesn't really do a whole lot. You can, because that's the nature of randomness, right? There are going to be, you're not going to get like, you know, it's just people are going to see what they want to see. But it's good that it's there. It is good that it's there. And, you know, I don't know what's going to stop the dice conspiracy theorists, but this is something, right? This is something, so, you know, fair play. Dice rolls are in match reports. You can queue multiple teams in multiple competitions at the same time. There's a pop-up that tells you how much time you've spent queuing and which teams are. The queuing time is now displayed in the launch match button towards the bottom left. Faction filters being added to live tabs, so you can search for specific factions if you want to watch a game. Inducements and star players are now saved in custom teams templates. Player names are now saved in team templates. Really good one, that. I kind of alluded to that in my arena video. I've done an Amazon Clash video as well, so that's good. Names are saved in templates. We can hope that player customizations are eventually, right? If we can save player customizations in templates, then we might want to use them, because it just seems so tedious to go in and like change, you know, like 22 shoulder pads and 22 arms and 11 heads and 11 bodies, and like, you know what I mean, that's so much work to just keep doing. So if you can just have the preset done, that's great, isn't it? An inducement tab has been added in the menu for non-custom teams, allowing to see which inducements are available during the inducement phase. Okay. It's now possible to reduce a team's treasury in the managed team pop-up. Yeah, I noticed that. I actually noticed that when I was making a team, and I thought that's a good little thing, you know, so you can avoid spiraling expenses. You can just ditch like 80 TV in one go. I think that's a good quality of life thing. I like, it was right to have expensive mistakes in the game, because expensive mistakes are in the game. But unfortunately, with having that and not having the functionality to dump treasury, it just made it super tedious, right, to keep under the 290 breakpoint, as I like to. So now that's good that you can just do that if you want. The staff management in the managed team pop-up, which apparently means you can reroll, you can get rid of rerolls, which I think is right when redraft doesn't exist. So in the Blood Bowl 2020 rules, you can only remove rerolls during a redraft, except there's no redraft in Blood Bowl 3. So they stopped you being able to remove rerolls, but then didn't give you a redraft to do it. So now I think you can. There you go. Offering star players in the menu with a controller will now display their special rules tooltip. That's a good thing for controllers, isn't it? Team alignments and special rules are now displayed on the team for factions that may pick one. Yeah, I saw that in the Amazon Clash video. You can see like Norse, it can show you that if it's a Chaos Norse team or a Old World Norse team, so that's good. Playing the coach emotes in the shop page did that one. The toggle the player customizations, yep. And hovering a player customization in the player manager will now display the visual on the player 3D model. Oh, that's good, isn't it? So there you go. There's updates to the quests. Weekly quests now award 5 warp stones once the blood pass is completed. So that's good, isn't it? Because what happened was you do your weekly quests, and then you speed through the blood pass so quickly that the quests become a bit pointless after the first week or 2, depending on how much you play, obviously. So, but you know, the people who play a lot end up not caring about the quests at all. Whereas now the people who play a lot can get a few warp stones, which is nice. You can also re-roll the weekly quest for 10 warp stones, which is a good option for people, in addition to the free one. So that's a good one for people who don't play as much but want to do the weekly quest to get the blood pass unlocked, right? So you've got something there for both extremes. People who play a lot and people who play a little. So that's quite nice. A really good one is you can override the pitch visual with the human pitch. Shortcut P on a keyboard. Visual effect only, does not affect special rules if enabled. So if you hate playing against the Dark Elf pitch or the Underworld pitch or whatever, you can turn it into a human pitch. I think that is great because, you know, that means if people want to see, you know, their own pitch, they can, and if they don't like that, they can see the human pitch. I would have preferred to, you know, you'd show your home pitch, right? So let's say if I only ever want to play on a human pitch, I could make it my pitch a human pitch, and then if I played you on your Skaven pitch, I could see a human pitch, and you would see your Skaven pitch, right? But then also you could have it the other way around, that if we were playing on my pitch, then you could just show your Skaven pitch. I think that would be the best, if you like. But the human pitch visual is good because it's clean, isn't it? And it's good that you've got the basic one. I think that's maybe more sensible. So yeah, very good. You can cycle through players using Shift or Tab on a keyboard, or with the controller with R1 in direction left and right. I guess that's okay. I don't know that I'm going to use it, but maybe. A game option has been added allowing you to keep displaying staff and inducements counts when they've been used. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Probably. A readability option has been added allowing to modify the grid opacity. That sounds good until you realise you can only turn the opacity down. So, like I don't know why you'd want less grid. Like, I could see people wanting more grid, but I don't see why you'd want less grid. So, yeah, that doesn't seem a great option, but, you know, some people might use it. You can pin a player sheet using middle click on a mouse or right stick with a controller. I don't really know why, but you could do that. And I mean, I might be being stupid here, right? Like, it might be a great thing. I just don't really understand. Added an option to keep the match modifier window open at all times. It will only close if the user closes it manually. Otherwise, it will close only when the user needs to choose an option such as a skill use. Okay, I don't know what that means at all. And then there's loads of bug fixes and various AI improvements and stuff. So, yeah, that's about it. There's the patch notes. There's this new dice roll feature. There's the Amazon Clash mode. I think could be great. There's a new season of Arena, which has been mixed up, right? Like maybe not as typically tabletop, but that could be a good thing. You know, people might enjoy Necromantic and Wood Elves. And Skaven. Right, so there you go. That is Amazon's, and yeah, that's the video. And thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and stay fantastic.